You were quoted by Matt Gonring in the Journal of Business Strategy,
Yeah.
and you referred to the strong relationship between brand strength and performance, and then the customer loyalty and employee engagement.
Right.
And you created the employee engagement program. Talk a little bit about formally how did the employees respond? Where is it now?
So Gerstner believes that the calcification of IBM's culture got the company into trouble, and that of all the things he did and led, changing IBM's culture is what led us out of the woods. And yes, we did help him with that. I believe that even today, most internal communications arms of PR functions or communications functions really do, what do they really do? They do corporate journalism. They create messages for the employees to consume. And in that regard, they really shouldn't use terms like employee engagement or culture change or organizational transformation. It's treating the employees as an audience of message from management. And that is necessary, but it's not sufficient. I mean, obviously if the company is saying we're changing your dental benefits, you need to know that. If we're reorganizing the company, you need to know that. If we're about to launch a new product, you should know that. Fine. We need capability to do that. What we did, though, and Gerstner was so insistent that we do this, he says, well, I don't want you just to inform employees about what we need to become. You got to help employees become that. I'll give you an example. Well, how? One thing, he says, we're not a team. We're not collaborative across our structures, the divisions of the company. And yet our business model promises integrated solutions for the customer. So yes, you're doing a good job communicating that imperative, but you got to come up with ways for the employees to actually collaborate. Well, I thought to myself, this is back in the 90s, you're asking the wrong department. We're the communications department. We're not the change the way people work department. Lou's like, try it, come up with some ideas. And we did, under that kind of pressure and invitation. So part of employee engagement was to engage the employees, not just communicate with them. We have an intranet. A lot of companies have intranet. Every company has an intranet. Most companies, even today, use their intranets to send messages. Well, starting around 1998, we said, 98% of employees use the intranet every day to consume information. With a little bit of work, we can turn this into a collaboration platform. So employees can, this is before Facebook by many, many years, employees could actually create content, share it with each other, find each other, get answers to questions without management having to answer them, help one another, and so forth. Which today is so obvious, but back then it was, wait, it's not built to do that. Well, what do you mean it's not built to do that? I'm thinking of my patent now. It's not built to do that. The intranet is 3 years old. We don't even know what it can do. So we evolved into these, the intranet became a collaborative platform for us. Lou and now Sam uses it, but it's not just them anymore. All the employees use it horizontally with each other. And the communications department pioneered that with us. So employee engagement was, we went from communicating to employees to enabling employees to work in new ways. And I think that was a big evolution in so-called internal communications for us.
For which of your accomplishments are you most proud?
Well, I can't lay claim to the great team that exists at IBM in communications, because I think that was, as I've recounted, was started by my predecessor, and I only furthered that work. My career has been marked mostly by the near death of IBM and our coming out of it. So I think I'm most proud of the work that I did in partnership with Lou Gerstner and others in changing our culture. And it wasn't one thing alone. It was many, many things to to change the attitude and behavior of a population of people. And I am proud of that. Part of that was the power of having, in our case, an IBM articulate a strong point of view to the outside world. So, which is another way of saying, if you say we want to be a leader, well then, by definition, you have to be leading people or clients or employees somewhere, so you better have a good agenda or a good vision or a plan to lead them somewhere. So for us, I will cite two things very quickly that I contributed to. One was the development of, in the 90s, a strategy called e-business, which we have subsequently galvanized the entire company around and took out to the world. And it had an enormous effect on employee, not just morale, but direction. More recently, we have a strategy called Smarter Planet, which has a lot to do with where we think technology is going today. What the two have in common, now that I sort of think about it, is they are both forward-looking platforms which simultaneously allow IBM to talk about where the world is going, where business is going, where technology is going, and then finally IBM and our products and services. But those kinds of agendas and platforms are very, very powerful because they very clearly help articulate a point of view. And people don't have to agree with it, but they can rally around it. They're very hard to build because they have to be true and they have to be multidimensional. And I guess I have had a role in both, in the 90s, the development of e-business, and right now, the development of what we call Smarter Planet. And because in essence, we've delivered to the corporation not just a campaign, but strategies. And I'm proud of that.